Okay, today we have the privilege of chatting to Barbara and Matthias from Moto Reloaded. They're the driving force behind a new motorcycle clothing distribution company. What is it that you both want people to know about you in the first instance?
Thank you, Mark. May I start?
Yeah.
So, the most important thing is that Barbara runs a German online retailer for motorcycle fashion since 14 years in Germany now. So she knows the industry about motorcycle gear, motorcycle fashion, how to look good on each bike, very, very well. And now I started an opportunity to retail or resell two fabulous brands in Canada and in the US. And that's why we are relocating. So we want to take all our experience from Europe to Canada and start the distribution business there.
I think it's everything is said because we learned so many things in the last 14 years about motorcycle gear that we think we have the knowledge how the perfect clothes should be constructed and designed and so on. So yeah, that's why we tried to start a new thing.
And you learned it.
And I learned it, yeah,
to make
somehow.
things.
Yes.
So how did you get, and I know it's 14 years ago now, but how did you get into that business in the first place?
We started to ride on a Harley, and Barbara said, "Okay, I come with you on the Harley, but I don't want to look in Harley dresses. So I want some fashion items on the bike."
Yeah, because I was working in the fashion industry and I am a tailor. And so I know about fashion and good looking things, I think. So yeah, that was the point that I said I want to have the perfect outfit. It was hard to find.
How do you decide, in a sense, what you think is suitable gear?
First of all, the protection of the material and the whole jacket or pants. It should be the whole material should be protective, not only some spots in your pants or on your jacket. Find the perfect fibers. So you have the whole material is abrasion resistant. The second thing is it should be a good design so that it should not look like motorcycle clothing.
So if I'm a new rider, what advice would you have for me?
So first step is buying proper motorcycle gear, and then it's proper, not the cheap
Yeah.
things, because that's only an illusion about protection. You have to spend
Yeah.
some budget on a good motorcycle gear, which really protects you.
Yeah, Barbara, I'm just going to pick up on something you said earlier on, which is that you don't want just parts of the clothing to be protective. It's the whole thing. But if I look at something like Amazon, it's masquerading as motorcycle gear. But am
Yes.
I right in assuming that the only thing that makes it protective is the body armor that's inside it?
What the people don't know is if they buy, for example, motorcycle pants for 50 or 90 or $100, they at the first moment they are protective, of course, but after some time with the sun, with washing the pants, with the weather and so on, it loses the protection, whatever.
The fiber gets destroyed.
Yeah, the fiber and the particular patches or whatever is inside. You have wonderful pants, but without protection because these cheap things, they lose the protection.
You're saying it sort of degrades over time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I compare just jeans, for example, a pair of motorcycle jeans, proper ones, have a much higher price point than, say, a pair of Levi's, right? How do I know what to look for?
So in Europe, we have the CE certification. That's a system where motorcycle gear is rated how protective they are. But even this CE certification, because they changed it in the past years to make it easier for many brands, is only focusing on falling zones. So it's most of all in jackets, it's the elbow here and the shoulder. So if you make abrasion resistant material in these zones, then you can already achieve the highest certification standard AAA. So
Okay.
even certification is not always a sign for good protective gear. What buyers should have a look on it if the whole material is abrasion resistant, not only these parts where the certification is important, the whole material, because you don't fall always exactly here and here. You can fall in completely different ways.
Is there anything that a buyer can find that tells them about the abrasion resistance of that garment?
Honestly, the easiest way is turn it inside out. And if you turn it inside out and you see there is a patch here and a patch here, it's just this is somehow protective.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the pockets for the armors, but some lining. But if you just see pockets and nothing else, then the whole thing is abrasion resistant.
But the easiest way is to ask a retailer.
Yeah.
He knows about the product.
Okay.
So and ask for abrasion resistant fabric on all over the pants or jacket.
So it's not just, in key areas, you're looking for both the CE certification and and the AAA certification, things of that nature, but you're also looking for the abrasion resistance piece as well.
That makes the products more expensive because
Sure.
this technical material is very expensive to produce. So that's the reason why these products, the better products, are more expensive.
So if we have customers who are potential buyers who are looking for advice and guidance on what gear they should buy based on the safety aspects, right? How would you advise them to go about that? Because, let's be honest, some of the retailers aren't, much as you say so, some of the retailers aren't as familiar as yourselves about what is good and what is bad. So how would would you be somebody who could help with questions? People can email you, that sort of stuff. Is that how you'd like to be able to help the community?
Of course.
Yeah, on the first thing, you have already a lot of very good PDF articles on your website. But we are just launching the Canadian website, and we try to answer most of the questions, showing content from our side, from your side, that buyers can inform themselves. And if they have further questions, of course, they can contact us through our new website in Canada.
Before we finish, please remind people how they get in touch with you now.
The best first point of contact will be our website, motoreloaded.com. And from there, he will find everything else. The two brands we distribute, our contact details. So that's the first place to have a look is our website.